Nia, what do you have next?
One moment, I was on a different screen. Let's see. I had one from Melanie. How will the advent of quantum computing affect Bitcoin and the security to one's private keys?
Great question.
Yeah, sometimes this pops up. Generally, it's just FUD spread by some other crypto project that thinks they've got a different algorithm and they just want to create anxiety. I think the generic answer is technology is advancing and software techniques are advancing, and the Bitcoin network is being upgraded all the time to address software threats and opportunities. And so in general, I'm not concerned about quantum computing as a threat. I think that the Bitcoin network is the most secure network in the world. And over time, if somebody comes up with some hacking idea, they'll probably hack a centralized app first. Like, for example, Twitter got hacked and the hackers took over the president of the United States account, and they could have started World War III. And they did it with something which is 1 billion times or 100 billion times less powerful than quantum computing. So yeah, there'll be security threats, but Bitcoin's by far the most secure thing we've got in the universe right now. And it's upgrading in the software and the hardware all the time. So
Michael, what hasn't been said? I mean, you've delivered this in beautiful analogies and probably the clearest messaging. And I think the thing I want people to get is this isn't just about the first world. It isn't just about us. It's about how do we create a more stable world, right? When we're looking at uplifting every man, woman, and child on the planet, they're going to be trillionaires living forever on Mars. That's great. But how do we give every man, woman, and child access to an economic system, as well as a health and educational system? And Bitcoin as an underlying layer is fundamental in global security and our futures. I mean, I can't stress that enough. If you want stability, you want people not revolting and starving in the streets.
yeah, I think the things I haven't said that are probably important. One, Bitcoin is a bank in cyberspace offering a global, affordable, safe, simple savings account for everybody, for billions of people that either can't run their own hedge fund or choose not to. It's just a bank in cyberspace. And it's the first engineered monetary network in the history of the human race. And the significance of a monetary system is the monetary system is backhauling the energy of the economy. When I give you goods or services or property, if we want the economy to work, you have to trade me back the monetary energy. And every civilization is based upon harnessing energy, and generally every civilization needed of an effective monetary system. If I want to crash the civilization, I crash the money, because the money is what allows humanity to cooperate. So for the first time in the history of the world, we have a protocol that lets 8 billion people on the planet with a mobile device or any device take personal custody of their own life force, which life force equals money, equals monetary energy, equals assets, equals life savings, right? They can take personal custody of their life energy in the form of a digital asset. And that protocol allows 100 million companies to spin up websites and applications that all trade with each other across regulatory jurisdictions, across space, and across time. And the magic of this is it's not just moving $1 billion 10,000 miles. It's moving $1 billion 10,000 days away. Bitcoin is elemental to the civilization in the same way that steel or electricity or fire or aluminum is elemental to the civilization. No steel and no buildings. Every building is maxed out at 6 stories in the masonry world, and then it goes to 100 with steel. No aluminum, no airplanes. And Pete knows this better than anybody. No fire, no humanity, no electricity, know nothing. And so we invented the equivalent of a crypto steel. And what it means is I can create an organization that could last 100 years, and I can power it with an asset that will last 100 years. And generally, humanity hasn't had a long duration power source. So when you think about it like that, like the Rockefeller Foundation had conventional assets and boards of directors to stay rich and stay effective for 100 years, or the Hughes Institute. But the average person, they can't endow something that would last 100 years or 500 years. And Bitcoin is the first thing we ever came up with that is that has the ability to convey monetary energy across time and space and across political jurisdiction with no energy loss. And in that way, call it a battery that doesn't leak, or call it a canister of compressed air without a leak in it. And next time somebody tells you that inflation is critical, I want you to imagine someone saying, I really need a hole in your balloon, a hole in the ship, or a hole in the battery, or a short circuit in your... Here's the beauty. Everybody in economics thinks you need inflation, and there's not a single engineering discipline or a single machine that was ever built in the history of engineering that worked with inflation. And so the application of conservation of energy to human action and human economics, that is the singularity that is the Bitcoin that is going on right now. And that's, I think, why Pete is interested in this and excited about it. And that's why I see it as the most important thing in my life.